This is the Groom Theory Way Podcast with your host, Haven Hobbs. It's time to show you the Groom Theory Way. It's time to start the show.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the GT Way Podcast. I'm your co-host, Miss Jewell.
I'm Haven The Groomer.
What up, bro?
What's up? How you feeling?
I'm cool.
Everything good?
Yeah, slow motion,
Slow
better
motion?
than no motion.
I know it's right. How's your energy?
My energy, I'm in my grief and gratitude era.
Okay.
Where I'm like just like grieving and just
Yeah.
great gratitude, just still grateful. But I'm good. I'm cool.
That's cool. 'Cause, I mean, usually people they be like, "How are you doing?" But some people be like, "Man, I don't know. How's your energy feeling?" You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Energy is major.
So I'm glad you're doing well though.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
How's your week? How was your week? Was it productive?
Yeah, it was productive. Just like, you know me, I'm just still trying to get in my everything I'm juggling.
Yeah.
Just still trying to,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no rush.
Yeah, what about you?
Everything's cool, man. I've been a little funk last, I say month, but it started to come out of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful, man.
Yeah,
I'm just grateful.
I feel
Just
you.
every day just trying to be 1% better. You know how that
Yeah,
goes.
literally.
Yeah.
That's the goal every day, just be better. That's why I
Yeah.
literally say my prayers like,
Yeah.
let me be better
Just
today
make
than I
me
was
better, man. That's
yesterday.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as I'm on my purpose, I'm good.
Yeah. Speaking of purpose,
Mhm.
we got Bronner Brothers this weekend. Well, I'm not gonna make it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
know you guys are going to Bronner
Yeah,
Brothers.
you got the
this
Bronner Bros,
weekend.
man. The whole team coming. You know what I'm saying? Minus Jewell, Miss Jewell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all gonna be down there for Bronner Bros 2024. You know what's kind of crazy?
What?
Today makes 10 years since I competed and won with that perfect score.
That's crazy.
And that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That is really crazy.
It is. And now we're here. Now we, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. To go down there. I always tell people all the time. Every time I go to Bronner Bros hair show,
Yeah.
there's always something I get, or someone I meet, or a handshake, or I get something positive every time I go there and I leave. I come back to St. Louis. I feel inspired again.
Yeah.
So it's something that's definitely well needed because it's always good to see, the roots where everything started. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I'm a firm believer. The Bronner Bros hair show is always going to be the hair show of all hair shows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And probably it's going to always have a special place in your heart, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
Without a question.
Mm-hmm. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Nick and Major and Lakin because I think this is their first one.
Yeah,
This is their first one.
First one.
Yeah.
So they get to see the Mecca, what it look like. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I say. It's the Mecca.
the Mecca, man. It's a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong, there's always hair shows, but ain't nothing like the Bronner Bros hair show. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Speaking of Bronner Brothers,
Uh-huh.
bro, I know we talked like briefly about Bronner Brothers in episode 2,
Mm-hmm.
but in honor of today being 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only right that we I want to go in depth with the story though, because I think
Okay.
we just touched on a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about a full blown in depth, like who inspired you, how did you get there, what the whole shebang.
The whole nine?
The whole nine.
We got time. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Because this weekend, Bronner Brothers, I mean,
It only makes sense.
Yeah.
It only makes sense.
So with that being said, who inspired you?
To like compete.
Who inspired you? Yeah, who
Brother.
inspired you to compete, or who inspired you to be great like this? Like, man, I'm finna go and compete in Bronner Brothers because it's a major deal.
Yeah,
So who
yeah.
inspired you to even say I'm finna do this?
So I got to go. My man John Ruff, aka J Ruff. He was he was my mentor during those year and a half. I was competing in hair shows, and I remember like it started when I first competed. We talked on the phone for like 4 hours. I was on the train. You know what I mean? He was telling me, prepping me like what to do, what not to do. And the crazy thing is like, I've always been a competitor my whole life, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember I was signing up for my first competition in Chicago, and he comes in, and I just knew it was him. Like he's had like this aura about him. You know what I'm saying? I just remember my man Kevin Garnett, who played basketball, he talked about when he got on the same court as Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan just had like a aura about him, like a fire about him, right? And it was so crazy when he came in, I just knew it was him. He was suited and booted, and like he just had a walk. Like he just knew what he was gonna do, how it was gonna get done, and that no one knew, no one knew that No, he knew that no one could stop him of what he was about to do. And
That's deep.
It's deep, for real. It's so deep.
That's deep.
Yeah, and I just remember my dad was there, my brother was there, and I competed. Right, I ended up getting third place, but he competed in 2 different categories. And when I tell you, Jewell, he put on a show. Like when I seen him, he just put on a whole.
Yeah.
It was a whole theatrical show. Like,
You said theatrical.
yeah, I was in awe. Like, yeah, the kid with the bicycle come in. Like, it was. I've never seen nothing like this ever.
That's a show.
It was a show. I'm like, he should have won. So he won 1, but they ended up getting second and 1, which I feel like he should have won. But everyone knew he put on the coldest show there.
Yeah.
And
so in the show, this show, you was competing in the same one, or you was just there?
No, this is my first ever.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was called the National Wall Competition.
Okay.
It's in Chicago once a year, and I competed in the traditional category, and he competed in the best fade and the best hair design graphics.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Jewell. He just put on a whole show, like, and so when I seen that, like, that and kind of like, especially not only did I get third that day, which is a whole bunch of star-studded barbers in that category, and it inspired me and it motivated me. Like, man, what else can I do? You know what I'm saying? So he was that person that told me, hey, man, I think you do very well at the Bronner Bros hair show.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm like, man, yeah, right. Like, no, I really do. I think you should compete, in February. And so my first show was October, the wall competition. Then I competed at the Bronner Bros hair show like 4 months later in February.
Yeah.
And that's when I got third place. Do you want to hear the whole story? Should I just tell the whole story?
Yeah, I think
okay,
you
cool.
should.
Okay, so
we got time.
we got time. So I got third place, right? So
Yeah.
he was coaching me through that too. Like, I told him the model. He seen my model, Tony, which I'm always grateful for. And so I ended up getting third place in that category. And that's when I realized, like, man, I guess I do belong amongst the best. Because it was a whole bunch of, star-studded group, you know what I'm saying? And so once I won that, I got third place, I started competing even more. So all of 2013, I competed a total of 9 hair shows.
Wow.
Yeah. Out of the 9 hair shows, I placed or won in 7 out of the 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
it was crazy. Like,
I would have been a nervous wreck.
man, I was like, it was one of them things where I was just like, I became obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Yeah, I became obsessed with, like, man, like, I like competing, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Let people know who I am, you know what I'm saying? So obviously it was a opportunity for me to showcase my talent.
Yeah.
But also, like, where else do I belong? Am I like, how good am I really? And so I remember I'm competing. I got third place at the Bronner Bros. So, Bronner Bros hair shows every 6 months.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm about to compete in August. I'm about to win for sure. And I remember, like, that's when I came out with the whole brand Groom Theory. And I told I remember I flew my best friend out, like, on a plane, because I just knew I was about to win, you know what I'm saying? And like, Jewell, when I tell you, like, I spent so much money that weekend, and so it was in August. I didn't even place. I'm thinking I'm about to win. I didn't even place. The judge said it was garbage, and that's when, like,
did they really say it was garbage, bro? What you said?
No, they said it was garbage because they wasn't. I feel like they just wasn't ready for that type of haircut.
Okay.
So you got to understand, 2013, that's when I came out with the new dread came out, the little sponge. And I was the only one using it for real. Like, I was like, especially in St. Louis, I was the only one using it in St. Louis. So instead of the traditional mohawk, I gave him like a little sponge, you know what I'm saying? Where it was like curly and it was like going to the side, put little sparkles. I did all kind of stuff, And they're like, look like he just woke up. Look like he just woke up and rolled out of bed.
They weren't hip yet.
They wasn't hip yet. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't hip.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happened, I was like, okay, cool.
Wow.
But the crazy thing is about J Ruff though, when I didn't place, I remember I was like, I'm done with competitions, man. I'm just over it. I'm like not doing this no more. And he's like, no, we're going like, nah, bro, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? And being a true mentor, a big brother, he gave me space for like a couple of weeks. And then he called me back, like, what's up, man? Yeah, I got an idea for you, man, for the competition. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
All right. I'm like, what you thinking, man? So he told me what you thinking. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I did say if I'm gonna start something, I'm gonna finish it.
Yeah.
And it took. I remember I hit my motto up, Tony, which I'm always grateful for. I told him, hey man, you think you can grow your hair out for 6 months? He's like, no haircut? Like, where you get lining? Just no haircut. 'Cause I didn't want to be no excuse, because the Bronner Bros hair show, they judge on like how much hair is on the floor too. You can't just have.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they want to see like an inch or two out. Like, so it's not like So
I didn't know all that.
yeah, so when I
Wow.
competed the first time in third place, they had me in first place, but they said I didn't have enough hair cut off.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I was like, I'm telling you, I was like, oh, okay,
Oh,
cool,
man.
right. So
That's,
I don't want no excuses. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I told I like, man, can you grow your hair out? You know what I'm saying? So he grew his hair out for 6 months, and I just remember the preparation. You know what I'm saying? What I was doing in that 6 months, just preparing for that.
Yeah.
And it was like one of them things where I was like, every time someone sat in my chair, I was like visualizing, like someone like, okay, how much time do I need? 30-minute haircuts, 45-minute haircuts, what technique I'm gonna use, and all this good stuff. And that prepared me for the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You got your practicing.
Yeah, I got my
And
practicing.
your
I got my
timing
practicing.
down.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the interesting story though, this is where it gets real.
Yeah.
Because this is why I realized when stuff is for you, it's for you. So it's
I'm a big believer in that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I never forget my man Jay Ruff. I hit him up. Hey, what's up, man? You gonna come down for Bronner Bros when I compete? And he was like, man, I don't know, man. I might not be able to make it. I'm like, you ain't able to make it. Like, who gonna color? No, cause we had a whole thing with how we wanted to do. Like, he want to keep on color the beard, color the hair. I'm like, who's gonna do it then, bro? Like, you know.
Yeah.
And so, by the grace, I gotta let him tell that side of the story. But by the grace, he decided to come down. So my friends picked him up in Chicago. They came to St. Louis, right? So we were all gonna travel together. It was about 6 of us, I think. And so I never forget. It was just hectic, right? And we left like maybe 11 o'clock at night or something, Jewel. And when I tell you, we're about 2 hours away from St. Louis. And I realized I left one of my props for my competition. So I had this whole thing when I wanted to be like a futuristic musician. So, my wife, she plays the viola. So
right.
the viola was part of the prop, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm like, hey man, I just left the viola, you know what I'm saying? And I never forget, he was like, is it part of your, is that part of your whole thing? I like,
Right.
yeah. He like, man, you gotta go back and get it. Without no hesitation, Jewel. I like, all right, we gotta turn back around. You know what I'm saying? Turn back around, went all the way back to get it, came back, started driving. I remember when we got into Atlanta, Jewel, I had like, this had to be Saturday, right?
Yeah.
I had a migraine headache. I'm talking about migraine to the 10th degree. I'm like, head hurting, everything, right? I haven't had no food. I'm just stressed out, like, And then the day, because my whole thing was I had a plan, back then, have that hair going forward.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so I remember everybody was like, man, you should change the outfit, do this. Everybody trying to change everything last minute on me.
The people who was in
With me, yeah, my circle. They was trying like, yeah, you should do this, do that.
Don't change that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
That's
gosh.
my pet peeve.
Everything, I'm organized. I'm ready for the cut. I know what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do. Then like, I had a whole outfit and everything. He like, and one thing Jay Ruppy always said, like, if you had a good looking model, you never put glasses on them. Right.
See, he be coming up with some stuff.
Some stuff. I'm telling you, Jewel, like all that stuff. I'm like, dude, you said so. I'll never forget. He like, hey, you know what? I know you was planning on doing this type of cut, but I think you should do a Gumby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now he's known for the Gumby. He's like the Gumby king. Like, I don't want to do no Gumbies. Like, come on, bro. Like, how you gonna try to tell me I should do the Gumby?
Last minute.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying just how his hair tilted. I feel like you should, I'm like, and so I never get like the confidence that he instilled in me, right? He was like, man, you really think I should do it? You really think I could do it? Do the haircut? He like, absolutely. I think you have the skill set to knock that haircut out the park. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And when he said that, Jewel, it's crazy. When he said that, right, it's like a confidence just came like,
Yeah.
fine, man, you right. This is my last one. This is my last time coming here anyway. We're gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And so I like, cool, we're gonna do it. He like, lastly, I know I said no glasses, but this one you gotta put some glasses on. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man. You said like,
You got my nerves going.
right?
Now.
Everything was just all bad. Everything's all bad, right?
Yeah.
And so later at night, he wanted to go out, right? Him and my friends wanted to go out. But me and my model, we just chilling. I like, hey man, we still got to do color. We still got to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, trust me, I got you. So make a long story short, this dude come back drunk, right? Middle of the night, I'm talking about Jewel. He drunk.
He already he first of all, he saw greatness in you before you saw your stuff.
Facts.
So he was trying to celebrate before you
Man,
won.
he was trying to do something. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And so
That's crazy.
now I'm like, I'm trying to wake him up. in the morning time. Like, this dude, not like, he act like he dead, Jewel. So I'm like, you know what? I do it myself. So I go in the bathroom, me and my model, me and him looking at each other like, hey, you really know what you're doing? Hell no, I'm about to wake this dude up, man. I ain't paid for this man. Come out here. I remember I had to smack him like a few times. Like, get up. Jewel, smack him. And so he do the color. And it was like, it was time to get to the competition. Right? I was like, bro, we got to watch this out, bro. I got to get to the competition. He's like, all right, cool. So he finally finished everything up, right? The color. We get in the car. He said, I'll meet you up there. So me, my model, my two friends, we in the car. We're driving, right? I'll never forget. When I tell you everything happened for a reason, so it was like, we got to get on the highway, right? Back then, I think they didn't have, like, you know, our phones got the
navigation
like that. Like, the navigation was just poor.
Oh, yeah, back then.
It's like 10 years ago. It wasn't like how it is now. Like, so I'm never get, like, he like, man, what's up, man? Should I get on this highway? I'm looking at the highway. It look like it's like about to be a traffic jam, right? If I get on this highway, we're not making it to the competition. I'm like, no, man, go forward, man. It got to be another way. And for some reason, like, we was just driving on faith, Jewel. Tell me why we got to the back of the building where I was supposed to be at, right? So we get to the back of the building. Yeah, I know everything's crazy. We get to the back of the building. We get in. I go in. Now they saying like, hey, it's completely. I didn't fill out the form online. I figured it'd be a space left. I get there. They talking about, it's full. Did you register online? I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, no, I got the money now. Well, it's all full right now. I'm like, what? And so this is so important.
That's crazy.
One that's so important is like to have like good people around you. You know what I'm saying? Because my model, he's just so positive. Like, no, you good, man. We ain't come this far for nothing, man. We good.
Right.
And so last minute, they say, hey, come on, Haven, you can sign up. She told the other people, no one else can sign up. And as soon as I'm signing up and paying the money, I see like two competitors trying to sign up, right? So I was the last one to get in. And I was just so mad, right? And remember I tell you about that feeling. Like, I just remember like Kenny Duncan, he's a lead Andy's educator. He was there with two other people that's part of the company as well. Yeah. He was trying to introduce me to the people because I just came out the Groom Theory, the app. Like, I was talking about the app, and I was like, I ain't want to talk about it. That's how locked in I was. Yeah. Like, all right, man, we good. I'll talk to you later, you know what I'm saying? So remember I tell you about that energy about when I first seen J. Ruff? So that was something I was chasing the whole time. Like, I want to get that feeling. I wanted people to feel me when I come in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know what's up.
That's deep, bro.
It's real. That's how deep it is. That's some deep stuff, right? So
that's deep.
That whole year, I was just like, every time I competed, I was just trying to add stuff to my arsenal. I was trying to figure out like what it was that he had, right? That made him who he was. Right. And I just never forget. We walk in our competitions, like it's the back room, right? Everybody getting ready and stuff. Everybody laughing and everything. And Joe, when I tell you when I walked in that bad boy, me and my model, when I tell you everybody got quiet, I'm talking about you can hear like a needle. Everybody, all of a sudden they see me and my model come in, they was like, they like they all like everyone knew, Joe. That's how everyone knew that there was no longer 3 trophies available. It was only 2. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just never forget. We sat down like, I like, Tony, man, you good? You need some yogurt or something? You know what I'm saying? I like, need some chips. I'll take some apple juice or something. So I gave him some, like, I remember when we got some apple juice and yogurt. We just chilling. Everybody just quiet, like, looking because as a competitor, you could tell when somebody got, like, a little something. Yeah. Like, you see they model. you say they model. Like, he's a good-looking model, got good hair. They outfit. You could just tell, like, something. And when I tell you, that was the first time I felt that feeling, Joel. Like, yeah.
Did you come in with J. Ruff too?
J. Ruff wasn't there yet. Oh. He was still at the crib. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he didn't get to the competition until it was like 15 minutes left of the competition. And so I never forget this, Joel. Like, so we over here preparing. Kenny Duncan comes in, like, hey guys, we just started to change the whole format a little bit. I know we're so used to giving people 45 minutes. I'm thinking like, yeah, they're gonna give us an hour, right? Because you know, we decided to switch it to 30 minutes. Oh, no. Right? And
I would have been a hot mess, bro.
When I tell you all these cats was like, man, it's crazy, man. And
you got me sweating. I'm thinking back like, because I'm trying to put myself in like. Yeah.
People were like, man, this is crazy, man. You got me this and that. And I was like, also like to enjoy like. If you would have said 15, 10 minutes, I would just got it. It was going to get done. It was going to get done.
But that's what you had been.
I've been preparing for this, like my whole life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Since I've been cutting hair. First come, first serve. You know what I'm saying? Knocking out 3 haircuts an hour. So, you know what I'm saying? So I was prepared for whatever. Oh, it's all good. It's what it is. And since I was the last person, right? Everybody got their seat. They put me all in the back with no lighting, right? I'm like, it's all good. It is what it is. Yeah. And I was like, he like, you good, Hops? My boy like, you good? Like, we good. And I just And once he said go, I was so locked in. One of my competitors to me, like he said he saw me. It looked like I was just taking my time, this.
Yeah.
But me, I ain't gonna lie, like I was going so fast, Jewel. Like I stand up, cause the light was so bad, I had to tell him to stand up for different angles. Hey, stand up real quick. He had to get up, you know what I'm saying? And like I never forget, I finished the haircut with like 15 seconds to go. I remember I got to make sure I get the neck hairs off and everything. I looked at him. I was drenched, Jewel, drenched like gonna run, like working out. Like, all right, bro. I put the little glasses on him. I opened like the little kit, like put tip, put some money in there. He had a guitar. He just looked like it was like I didn't even care about what was going on, Joe. I didn't even care about what was going on.
Yeah. And
I was like, I'll be back for that trophy, bro. Like, all right, Hobbs. I just went into the back room and I just never forget. I went all the way to the back and I was just like, man, I finished it. This is what I've been praying for. This is what I've been working for. This is what that feeling was. I was chasing this whole time, not knowing the outcome yet. I just knew like there's no way that I'm not gonna win this competition. You know what I'm saying? That's how I just felt. Like I didn't care about nobody else. Like when you're in the lane by yourself, that's how I just felt. It was me and everybody else. Like you know what I'm saying? At that particular moment, and all of a sudden the lady was like, they be judges go through. Then one of the ladies who's hosting like, it's gonna be the winner has a perfect score. This is the first time in history, right? Everybody like, man, that boy Blaze, that guy who did that. And everybody like, man, Haven The Groomer did that. I'm just chilling, Jewel. I'm in the back just chilling. Man, they all looking to see they trying to see what the judges looking at the most. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I didn't even care. Like I just knew what it was. All right. And so they start naming like the third place.
Yeah.
Then they let second place. Then I see J Ruff there, and he
finally got there.
He like so when he said that, like I knew it was over with. Right? They called me by the perfect score, and I went out there. I remember I gave him a hug. Then I went to my model gave him a hug, man. It was crying. Like it was so emotional.
Crying,
yeah, it was so emotional because like it was something that I've been like I had to put everything in the back burner until I finish this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta finish this in order to get to the next step of life. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that happened so J Ruff was the person that inspired me because he the one that gave me all the knowledge, the tools, the confidence, most importantly, that I could go out there and do my thing.
Yeah. Two things that really stuck out was, for one, energy. I say it all the time. Energy introduces you before you open up your mouth.
Facts. Big
when
facts.
You say you met J Ruff, like you knew that was him.
Yeah.
Because his energy spoke. Like, I think that is so crazy.
Yeah.
And I always look to that when I even meet new people.
Yeah, for sure.
Your energy when you walk in the door, that's just like at the shop. When people walk in the door, I can feel it.
You feel
immediately.
You know exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and two, just like he saw greatness in you before you saw it in yourself from
Facts.
the very beginning when he called you and said, "Hey, I think that you should."
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like for him, he like prophesied over you.
He did.
You know that, and I think that's crazy.
It is.
Like I know you said everybody was like crying and everything after the competition, but like what was going through your mind? Like how did you feel? Like what were your emotions? What were your feelings? Like after the competition?
Man, it was like I just felt like it was mission complete.
Yeah.
You know? During that season, like obviously the seasons in our life, right? And during that season, I was really trying to, find out who I was. Like I wanted. The competitor, especially being a competitor, I wanted to really see who I was as a competitor. I wanted to see where I belong amongst the greats, and I wanted to win this competition too. It was like, I wanted to win, and so when I won, it was like, this mission complete. Now, like, okay, what's next? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just literally went to the next season of my life.
Yeah. What was a lesson that you learned? What was a lesson that you learned, like a most valuable lesson that the competition taught you? I think I know one.
The competition taught me the perseverance for sure. Like when things get bad, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I always stuck to the plan. Everything was all in the plan. I never there's only one time that I just thought like, man, this ain't it. I'm done. And I was at that when I didn't place, but I realized I was just, if I would have gave up right there, I would have never won a competition. I would never had that experience, that feeling of winning. And so that right there was, for me, was like, man, everything's all in the plan. Perseverance, like, hey, man, whatever you start, make sure you finish. You know what I'm saying? See it through. Then no matter the outcome.
Yeah. That's dope, bro. That story, I'm telling you, that story always get me.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to add the video, the actual video. We're gonna have to add that at the end of this.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got for sure. They can
so
see
they can we run it back so they can see.
Yeah, because that was awesome times, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
I also, like you said, in the beginning when you was like, what's for you is for you.
Yeah.
Because you left the violin, had to turn back around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just all of those things. Y'all almost got lost.
Like
J-Ro fell asleep. Almost didn't die.
Right.
Almost didn't die there. Like, then on top of that, when you came through the back door, they was finna cut it off.
About to cut it off.
You sat in the back with no lights.
No light.
It was like
everything is getting tested throughout the whole damn process.
But you know why though? Because when you have something so major and big like that, it's not gonna just run smooth for you. It's never gonna work out that way.
Never. Yeah, there's always got to be some type of obstacles or something that happens, man.
Yeah,
like,
and that was major.
Yeah,
that was big
for real. Because at that age too, like I probably was like 27. I was like 27 years old, and I learned so much about myself during that time. You know what I'm saying? About who I am and who I'm going to be in this industry, like, you know what I'm saying, or just as a man, period. Like, man, listen, everything that happens now, especially like that lesson back then, like, kind of helped me in this lifetime now, like years later, 10 years later, when dealing with certain things, like everything is, there's no coincidence. Everything is happening for a reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all about me just figuring out what that lesson is.
Right.
You know? So I'm forever grateful.
Yeah. Speaking of making history, I know the moment, I remember back in like, what year was that when we first went to New York? I think that was 16 or 17. Yeah,
it's probably, you came in 16, right? You came in 15?
I came in 15. So we went to New York like 16.
Yeah, 16.
We went a few times, but I think it was that moment. So my question is, at what moment did you realize, like, I put a stamp on the barbering industry? I remember when we was in New York, and that guy, he was from Africa. And he had a pair of sneakers, and we was getting out the elevators. And he was like, "You're the reason why I came. Like, can you sign my sneakers?" You don't remember that?
But I remember you were saying that. Honestly, I can't really remember.
I remember it like yesterday, bro.
So funny thing, I remember a moment like that. Was in the hotel. Was it the hotel?
It was at a hotel.
So
I don't even think, it was at our hotel.
Yeah.
But I don't even think we ended up staying at that hotel. I think it was one of the hotels, because that was the year we was having all that stuff going on where we was going to stay.
Okay.
And I think we went to one particular hotel, and I don't think we stayed there.
Yeah.
But somebody got out the elevators. Or was that in Atlanta? I can't think now.
All right.
I think that was in New York or Atlanta. It
was so many different shows.
Yeah.
And I remember you was telling me about that, and like stuff like that happens to me. Like, you tell me stuff like that. Or someone else tell me that a situation that I did or for someone, I don't be remembering, like, you know what I'm saying? I really don't, like, but that's dope though. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's dope. Like, even one of my good friends, man, he told me, like, he's a barber now, and he said if it wasn't for me, he would have quit, he would have quit going to barber. He would have stopped being a barber because he was in barber school at the moment.
Yeah.
He couldn't afford it. I told him, like, bro, he said that I told him that, listen, man, you ain't about to stop quitting your dreams because of some money. And I'll pay for your tuition for a few months. So I guess I paid a few months tuition. Like, I can't remember it though. Like, when he said it, like, you remember? Like, oh damn, I guess I did. You
That's
know what I'm
crazy.
Yeah.
I actually went to when I went to Grizz the Groomer, shout out to Grizz.
Yeah.
When I had went to his show, back, what was that? Like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago? Diamonds Make Pressures. It was a barber show.
Yeah.
And someone came up to me and they saw I was finna leave, and they said, "Hey, tell Haven he's the reason why I'm cutting hair."
Straight up?
Yeah.
That's dope,
he was
man.
like, "Tell him I'm so bad with names. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry." But yeah, he came up to me. He said that. He was like, "Tell Haven he's the reason." I'm just like, that's crazy.
That's
you
dope
know?
too. Yeah, that's dope too, man. Like,
Yeah.
no, but like when you said like, have I ever? Was there? You said it was a reason. Was there a time that I felt like I was? I arranged that I arrived or something?
Can you reflect on a moment when you realized your work was not just being recognized in a competition, but making history in the barbering world?
That's dope. Okay. So honestly, I didn't realize how important it was what I was doing until I opened my shop. You know what I'm saying? So once I opened my shop and I seen like the barbers that I brung on the team, just see them start growing. You know what I'm saying? Like my man B, and I said he got a cold story. B used to push a skateboard to pushing a Benz. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so when I start seeing that, then I see my man, you know, Joseph out of barber school. Now he's dressing professionally, a customer service. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I see the impact this having on his life and his family. That's the times, like, and I see how you, like, when you come in and, like I said, going to your party and seeing, like, how big a deal this is. Like, that stuff, that right there showed me, like, how important it is.
Yeah.
It really wasn't the other stuff, like the other accolades, which is cool. But for me, it was just my own personal circle, the type of impact I could have on the people who I'm surrounded by on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So I really never looked at it as was like, I've been so like humble on certain things.
Yeah, you really have, bro.
Yeah, you know, I'm just blessed to be able to impact people, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I tell you all the time.
right.
Like, listen, bro, you just can't have anybody next to you.
Facts,
like,
big facts.
Yeah, you have to understand. But you know what? Listening to that just reminded me of, you know, how people how churches have ministries. Like us being behind the chair, and this is your ministry.
Yeah.
Like how you just said, like your circle and impacting people's life. Like your ministry doesn't have to be like religious based or anything, but this is your ministry.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and it has impacted many lives, and it keeps trickling down. And I mean, because I always say, like, if it wasn't for Groom Theory, I wouldn't have Ava.
Right.
I wouldn't have met my person. You know, like, it keeps trickling all the way down. Like one move makes everything.
Everything, for real.
Had you not, if we just rewind this whole story, and you had gave up on Brunner Brothers, all of us wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
And that also brings me to the point where they say, you go through stuff not for you, but for other people.
Absolutely. Everything
for
you do.
Other people.
That's real right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100 right there, because I feel that way too. I definitely feel that way. If certain things never happened accordingly, like, will I still be in this position? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, you know, winning a competition. If I never won a competition, would I have opened my barbershop?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I never won if I never competed, I would never been exposed to these different brands.
Right.
That helped me create my brand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, it's a trickle effect. And so,
It
know,
is.
you're right though. Like,
really
it's so
is.
cool to just to witness it. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool though. Like, I'm just blessed to be able to come in that era, man, where especially the beginning time, like Instagram and stuff, where everybody was just getting it, man. All the people that's been building their brands for the last 10 years, just see them grind it out, you know? So, you know, that is real though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it. I'm proud of you too,
Yeah.
sis. You know what I'm saying? You came a long way, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came a long way.
Likewise, bro.
Yeah.
This is the Groom Theory way.
The Groom Theory way, man. The Groom Theory way. Because one of my things too, like, I realized too, Jewell, like, I think I spoke on it before, but when it comes to like people, you know, leaving a mark on something, I was just fortunate to have like good people around me. You know what I'm saying? Because none of it happens if people wasn't, you know, didn't believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Didn't buy in. Didn't understand that what they're doing is going to impact other people bigger than themselves. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always going to be grateful for the people like you, Tez, Bean, Joe. Like, yo, you guys, you know, y'all came in and y'all bled it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all bled it. So yeah, man, it's just like I said, so important to have
Thanks,
good people
bro.
around you, man. Because the thing is too, people like, yeah, I was like the leader out of the group, but like the people that you impacted, like, you know how many people start cutting hair because of you? I don't think you understand. Like, Jewell, you think about all the people that cut hair now, like, they cut hair because of you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Thanks,
made it
bro.
cool. Like, you made it like, no way. No, I'm dead serious. Like, barber was like, so I look at it like, people thought barber was a hustle, right? I feel like I tried to push it. I made it as a career back in
Facts.
2012.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But like, once like you came part of the squad, then you started progressing. You started getting better and better, and like how do you start getting sponsored? You know what I'm saying? Like, that impacted a lot of people. People that you know be cutting hair would not be cutting hair if it wasn't for Miss Jewell. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's real. Like, people was wanting to be like you. Like, people like, man, she's so cool. How can I? All the little women that took my one-on-one class, it was because of you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta look at like that too, Jewell.
Yeah, I appreciate
You know
it,
what
bro.
I'm saying? Because you a vet now. You was 2016. So you came 2015.
But I started cutting in 16.
Yeah. So this should be 9 years, right?
It went by so fast. It went by so fast, and I still feel like I have more to go.
For real. Like,
Yeah.
we're constantly learning. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's the one thing about the barber industry where you
Yeah.
can always reinvent yourself.
You really can,
Yeah,
bro.
always.
Yeah.
Like, always.
You really
So,
can.
I just be trying to tell, like, you know, my young bulls in the team, like, they think, like, hey, man, hold up. Man, y'all old, man. Like, you understand the older folks is still the ones that's throwing these hair shows y'all going
Yeah.
to? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it confused,
Look,
you know?
it's gonna be a blink of an eye, because I
Right.
swear it was like I was just 21 yesterday.
Man, I'm telling you, I was, 28, 20, you know what I'm saying? I went to my shop at 28, 29.
I remember y'all. I remember coming to the shop and y'all was just celebrating y'all 30th? Y'all had went out of the country.
Oh, no, you came in 2015, right?
I came in 15. Was it the 30th year y'all was celebrating?
So yeah, so if you came
You
in
was-
15, I was 28 that time, I think.
Right, because I remember you and AP and BJ, all of y'all was turning 30 that year.
Yeah.
And y'all was like super. I was going out of the country.
Yeah. That's when
Yeah.
my kids came.
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, 2000.
The time goes by so fast.
Fast, man.
And
it's a blur.
especially when you having fun.
Yeah,
I mean, those are the best years of my life. Like,
it was, man. It was a
Right.
blast. It was a blast.
it's a movie.
It is.
It really is a movie.
I wish we would have documented all that stuff when we like to.
I used to say, remember I used to like, we need our own show. Like Black Ink, we needed our own show. For sure.
like
sure.
if I knew about the cameras and stuff like back then, like we
Oh,
knew about
yeah.
cameras, but we didn't know how to edit to like that to that degree, especially that long term content. But like the stuff that especially like when we went out the state, different places, man, that was just a whole vibe, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it
so
really
blessed you
was.
guys able to experience that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I remember when I first went out there, like just experienced that, like I'm like, man, my team got experience this too. It's like, oh, you know, you get a whole different view of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it really was. That was
Yeah.
my first time getting on a plane.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was my first time getting on a plane.
Do you remember when you first got on the plane? You remember you was?
I was wasted, boy. My head was in the table.
Yeah.
I was just telling somebody that story. I'm like, I think I got too excited.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was my second time we went to New York that I got wasted.
So the first time you wasn't wasted?
I don't think so.
Second time you was
The second time, yeah, because
Yeah.
I think the second I had just moved into my loft on Fifth Street.
Yeah.
I was like celebrating life. We had just opened up St. Charles,
Yeah.
and I had drunk a whole bottle of champagne from the time I woke up until the
So-
time we got on the plane. I had drunk some Jose Cuervo. I mean, I don't know what I was doing, but I was too happy.
Right.
And I was just excited because I'm like, we're going back to New York.
Yeah.
The first time was a movie. I'm like, this time gonna be a movie. We got so much to celebrate. Like, we got our second location. I'm like, it's a movie.
It was.
It's up.
The second time is that when the situation with the house messed up, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was excuse me, that was crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to my man Adrian Famous, man.
Right, with that 5-star breakfast.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll never forget that breakfast.
Nah, I'll never forget when he said, "You guys just come over here." You know what I'm saying? I was saying like,
Yeah.
people don't understand the power of like network.
Oh, yeah.
And having good people, bro. Like
That part.
when he knew the whole situation, like, man, we don't got no Airbnb. We got to stay, man. You guys just cut him out. He just opened his whole house.
It was 13 of us.
13 of us.
14 of us.
We was all.
Yeah.
That was crazy to think about it, man. He cooking for us and everything. You know what I'm saying?
He still won't give me that lo mein recipe. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'll
can you give me a recipe? He'd be like,
Nah, man. Shout out to my mentor, man,
Yeah.
Adrian Famous. That's my boy, man.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
good times, bro. But,
Yeah.
I always give you your flowers. You said that the team is what,
Yeah.
help. But if it wasn't for you and being selfless the way you are, because, we in a industry where people are cutthroat, jealous,
yeah.
don't want to see you past them.
Yeah.
The whole night. I mean, and I hate it, but that's just it is what it is.
yeah,
They
that's
don't want to collaborate. They don't want to. It's a lot. But you
Yeah.
were selfless from the start.
Yeah.
You were selfless from the start. It was always whatever you needed me to do to help you get to where you're trying to go.
Yeah, for sure.
So I always say,
Low key, it's kind of like my bodyguard. You know what I'm talking
oh, for sure, till the wheels fall off. For sure.
about? Jewell like, nah, that ain't it. Like,
For sure.
Nah.
My mom used to say before I met my boo,
Yeah.
before I met him, my mom said, do you like anybody else besides me and Haven? I'm like, no. She used to say that all the time. Do you like anybody else?
right.
I'm like, no.
right, everybody let you down, man. People let you down,
Yeah.
man.
And you're the only people I
Right,
can trust.
right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You always had like you always use like my blind spot. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, nah, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this discernment that I got, brother.
So I know.
It ain't gonna never just be.
You feel me? That's why
That
like when I highlight
discernment.
Jewell, I gotta come. All right, Jewell, like what how you feeling right now? What you think?
Too real.
For real, bro? Like, oh, I already know. Yeah.
Yeah. The discernment ain't no joke.
Nah, that's some fun times.
But
though,
yeah.
man.
But I'm happy for you, bro. I hope y'all have a safe time this weekend.
Yeah,
Make
for
sure you
sure.
take your Sharpie so you can sign them autographs. It's gonna be up.
Right.
It's a good time.
It's gonna be up. It's gonna be a good time. Man.
Yeah, I'm excited for the guys.
Yeah, they're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna see some of my family, my boy,
Yeah.
my boy Von Shay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna hear the stories from
yeah,
them.
you will. He
Yeah.
will.
But while y'all gone, send them clients to my
Oh yeah,
chair.
for sure. Everybody go to Jewell, man. You know what I'm saying? Go holla at Jewell, Miss
Right.
Jewell. Yeah, but nah, that was a dope podcast, man. Dope episode.
Always.
Dope episode. Another one. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it rolling.
Mm-hmm.
I guess till next time, huh?
So next time.
Till next time.
See you guys.
One love.